Okay, yeah. So I was saying that so far so good. We've been having a kind of interesting ride with our journey into data analytics, and the truth is it has been an interesting one. Maybe in fact I know that maybe for an average person, I know that people like Judith is enjoying it. I know that people like Princess, I think she's enjoying it already. I think people like Isley, when you see a man coming early to class, it means that that man is enjoying the class. It is the ladies that ladies kind of they can be very, very flexible. But then when you see a guy taking the lead in some things, you should know that I know this guy is actually looking for something, or maybe he's actually enjoying it so much. He talks to your papa. No mind me. But then I was surprised when I got to class today and I saw that the guys are the one leading the class actually. Like they are the one they are in the front seat. It's a lot actually. So, but then it shows the fact that we are actually enjoying the ride. And then let me see, quickly put on my feedback. My feedback. Okay. So it's actually a lot. And then I believe that it will continue to be like that. So we have been enjoying the ride into data analytics, and then for our data analytics, we have looked at the definition of data analytics itself. We have looked at so many things as regard data analytics, and yesterday we upped our game a little bit. Yeah, so we upped our game a little bit, and then by upping the game a little bit, we looked at some calculations on that has to do with that you can actually do on Excel. And by calculation, we had quite a good time yesterday trying to look at some of those formulas, and just like I said yesterday, these are formulas that will help you not as a data analyst actually, because you might end up not using most of this formula as a data analyst. But then I can assure you that these formulas are formulas that will be relevant for you in your personal life, in your personal business, and in so many other things. And then definitely, these formulas will lay a foundation to some crazy part of data analytics. And by that, I'm talking about a guy we call DAX. There's a guy we call DAX. And what DAX means is it means data analytics expression. That's what a DAX means. It means data analytics expression. So I'm coming. Okay, not a problem anyway. Data analytics expression, and then when we get to that, when we get to our Power BI, it is almost like all this function we are typing in Excel, just that in a different format. By the time we get to Power BI, we see the difference, and then we get to flow the tide of it. By the time we get there, so today we are taking our game a little step further, and I'm coming back to a blank sheet. That's a Greek word that means nothing. And then we are starting from the scratch now, and then we are answering the question of I'm a data analyst and I want to analyze a data. What is the journey of data analytics looking like? What is the journey of data analytics looking like? So I always take my students some things that is we call it a data pre-processing. So let me start like this. We have different stages. Stages involved. Stages involved in data analytics. Stages involved in data analytics. You can see some of your colleagues. They'll be asking questions after is the class holding at 4:30. Or I'm looking for a link of the class before 30. It's fine. No, I will not talk. So, but then so I'm saying that stages involved in data analytics. You can't see my screen. You are the only one. I can bet that. I'm sure. Thank God is thanking God because he can see my screen. Yeah. I know people can see my screen. Yeah. Thank you so much. So please, if you can't see my screen, if it's not general, please just go off and come back. Thank you. So stages involved in data analytics. Number one, and the primary is data sourcing, or what we call data gathering. Now, for the first time, I've not taught this before. You guys are the first people I will be teaching this. I've not taught this before. You guys are the first I'm teaching this. And then which is what? It is the fact that for your data sourcing and for your data gathering, there are two ways to it. It is either you are doing it yourself, like sourcing yourself, sourcing yourself, which is not the ideal method. Which is not the ideal method. That's why I'm saying that I'm teaching you guys this yourself. Normally, by the time I'm teaching my students data sourcing and gathering, I always tell them, this is not your headache. That is what I always tell them. This is not your headache. Because in the reasons, the data you are using for your analysis as a data analyst, it's not your headache as a data analyst. So you have some people that we call data scientists, scientists. They are the ones that are in charge of data collection. So they are the ones that define the aim or objective of the research, get the data that can actually solve that, and they send it to data analysts. Then data analysts pick up whatever is being sent to them and then start work on it. However, working working over time, I've noticed the fact that at times you won't bank on data scientists or even business owner to get data. For example, if you are doing research for work, we have some people that are doing research work, maybe masters in business analytics, maybe masters in data science, all those guys. And then at a point in time, they need to pick up a data set to analyze for their project work. At that point in time, they won't go and meet a data scientist to get that done for them. They will come and meet you as a data analyst to help them to analyze the data. And it is either one of two things. It is either they source the data set themselves, or they ask for your help to get the data set. Now, if they ask for your help to get the data set for yourself, that is sourcing yourself, which I said that it is not the ideal method. I've told you that it's not the ideal method. But then, if you are in that case that you need to source data for yourself, then there is you need to define your aim. What problem are you trying to solve? And then you have to define your objective. Definitely, if it is research work, your chapter 1 will cover for the aim of your research, the objective of your research. And with that, you'll be looking for a data set that is tailored to answer the questions in those objectives. Imagine somebody having objective around sustainable development, and you are bringing a data set in construction. That is foolishness. That is basically foolishness, because it does not align with what the problem we are trying to solve. So that's number one. So the second method is getting it from your clients, getting data from clients or data scientists. So, for example, I jumped on a call with a client about 2 weeks ago, and then the client sent a PDF file of what they need, and then we gathered some things, and then I had a meeting with the clients, and I saw the fact that the client already asked a data set, something existing in their system, and at that particular point in time, I told him our work is easier, it is simpler, and the reason is because they can supply us the data they have, and we can analyze based on that. So there is something we call database management. Database management, and we have some people we call database administrator. One of our partners at Center Analytics, she's database administrator in UK. These people, they manage database core itself. By the time we go to SQL, we are going to look at what this guy means and what they do. What does database management, what it means? We'll be looking at it. That time we'll be talking about your relational database, your non-relational database. You'll be looking at all those things at that particular point in time. But then I'm just giving you a hint of what is optimal. Please, I'm still with you guys. I'm still with you guys. It is I think my device went overboard, so I'm still with you guys. Just a minute, please. Just a minute, please. Okay, yeah. Don't mind me. When you're already using all your devices to the extent that they are already eating up. Just a minute, please. Yes, I know you can't see my screen again. Oh, please, oh, I can. I know. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to bring it back home. Okay, please. I believe you guys will be able to see my screen back now. Please, you can see my screen now. Please let me know. Just use an emoji. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. My router went over. So please don't mind us. Okay, yeah. So I don't know why some people are laughing anyway on the call. I don't know, but then don't worry. We know where we see ourselves later on. Okay, so before I went off, I was explaining the fact that we have our data sourcing, and I said the next thing is our data pre-processing. We have our data processing, then we have our data transformation, or some people can call it wrangling, and then we have our data visualization, and then we can have what we call our reports. So pre-processing, processing, they might almost be the same thing. So now this is the roadmap. You have the data. The first thing you want to do on your data set is that you want to be able to understand your data. Understand your data. You have your data sourcing. You want to understand your data. You want to know what are the things you have in your data sets. What are the column or feeds that you have on your data sets? Then you want to be able to do your data cleaning. That is, clean your data. You want to be able to clean your data. So now, after cleaning your data, what is the next thing that you are going to do? You are going to now do what we call our data transformation or data wrangling. So under our data transformation or wrangling, we have several things. That is where we do our calculation. That is where we do our, if you need to do any form of conditional formatting, is it conditional formatting or so? Any calculation you want to do around your data sets, you do it under your data transformation. I'm going to show you the process in real life. So, for example, maybe you're trying to do your total this, total that. You're trying to do any multiplication. You're trying to do any addition. Anything you're trying to do, you are trying to do that on your data set. So this is where you do your calculations or activities around making data set fit for use. And after that, you want to plot charts and graphs for your data set. You want to plot charts and graphs for your data set. And then after that, you want to be able to interpret your charts and graphs. Because don't forget, from our definition from the very first day, we said that we are starting analysis with a goal in mind. That is, to the end that a decision is being taken. That's the end. So now that means that we must be able to interpret whatever we have been doing so far, so that from our interpretation, we can make our decision. That's simply what it means. So this is the guide that will make us to see what decision can we actually make from what we have been doing so far. So we move ahead. Now, Excel is a big guy, and just like I said, there are some things that you might have not seen on Excel before. For example, let's go into how to get data set on your Excel. How to get data set on your Excel. I'm going to do some I might be doing some magic today. Yeah, I might be doing some magic today. But then I will try to move fast because I can see that I will try to move fast. And then also I will want you guys to pay very rapt attention to every detail. It is not hard. So I'll be showing you guys a new guy today that I've not shown you guys before, and which is this bar over here. This bar over here. It is called data. This is your menu bar over here, up here. It is called data. So if I click on data, I'll have all these guys. Now, from all these guys, there are many ways you can actually get data sets on your Excel to analyze. The most common one that you guys know is that somebody will send you an Excel file, and then you will just open it, and your Excel will open, and then you do what? You start working on it. For example, let's do it. Let's take a quick example. Let me open my file, and then let me go under my documents, since analytics, then strategic mind. So this guy, data cleaning Excel tutorial. So this is an Excel file, and I'm just picking it up and I'm putting it here, and this guy is opening. This guy has opened, and I can do anything I want on this guy right now. This is a way of having data set on your Excel. I want to check something over here. Okay, so this is an Excel worksheet. That's not a problem. That's an Excel worksheet. That's not a problem. So that is number one way of doing things. How can we do this again? If you see this guy under your get data, you see that we have many ways of getting data sets on our Excel. So let's look at them. Number one is your Excel workbook, the one I just showed you now. Number two is from your test or CSV. Who knows the meaning of CSV? If you know the meaning of CSV, put it on the group chat. Let me see people that are more brilliant than myself. If you know the meaning of CSV, put it on Excel or on our in-core message. Let me see. Excel, what is CSV? Put the meaning. See, I'm not asking you to do thumbs up. Oh, see this, Mr. This is telling. He's trying to use OT for me. I'll be street OT. Yeah, comma separated value. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, in fact, it is even on the screen right now, sir. But then, notwithstanding, I believe it's because you guys know it anyway. So, your CSV simply means comma separated value. And what does it mean? We are going to look at that. The other ways is through your XML file, JSON file, your PDF file. I think I'm getting it for feedback. Okay, so your JSON file, your XML file, your PDF. In case you don't know, you can get it from the PDF from folder. If time permits, I'll be showing you a level of automation on your Power BI. If time permits, emphasis on that. If time permits, you guys can remind me. I'll be showing you how to do some form of automation on your Power BI that you will import data set from your folder. And then, people that are doing, maybe if you're at your place of work, you always do a kind of monthly report, a weekly report, a kind of, or maybe your business, you want to be doing a monthly report for your business, that the new file, you just come and drop it inside the folder, and by default, your Power BI will pick it up, and it will form a dashboard for you by default itself. There's a way of automating that on your Power BI. Life is now soft. Life is now easy. You don't need to be stressing yourself as regard all these things. So, but then that is to show you the power of folder or the power of all these our devices. Also, we can get it from SharePoint. There's a platform called SharePoint, majorly used by companies for bookkeeping, for they keep their files and the likes. So you can get data set from all those. Then what we have from database, We have so many databases we can get it from. We have our SQL. We'll be looking at our SQL server at the later part of our class. From Microsoft Access, I always tell people that one of the most underutilized Microsoft products today is your Microsoft Access. It's one of the most underutilized software. And then I can tell you for a fact that that guy is very, very strong. I can tell you for a fact that guy is very, when it comes to database management, your Microsoft Excel is very, very strong. And then the fact that it's even free, it's the headache is not so much and the likes. But then many of us, we are still neglecting it. Even myself, I still don't use it actually. So we have other softwares and the likes. Then we have our Azure also. We have our Azure database. All these are other softwares. But then from our power platforms, from our online services, and this and the likes. So let's just do quite some things. Let's do some gimmicks. So let's come here and let's do I want to see let's look for something around sports. Yeah, I know guys will like this. Let's see. UEFA Champions League record. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the guy I'm looking for, Wikipedia. So now I have taught you something earlier in the class, and that's one of the reasons why you guys need to be paying attention while we are teaching you things, whether I mention it in passing or actively. So, and the reason for that is because on this web page right now, let's look at it together, and somebody should tell us the type of data that we have on it. I will not tell you the type. I know that we mentioned part of our earlier classes, we mentioned 3 different types of data. I remember that vividly. We mentioned 3 different types of data. So I want to see people that are still with us that will remember all this type of data that we talked about. So I just want to walk through these sites. So we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. We have quite a number actually. We have quite a number. We have quite a number. So who can tell us which type of data set do we have over here? Let me see. Is anybody saying anything? Okay, I can see structured data. I can see semi-structured. Okay, I'm still looking. Semi-structured. Structured. Okay. So let's see. Should we raise the proof for that? Unstructured. Fantastic. Somebody saying unstructured. Semi-structured. I wish I can allow people to talk. Actually, I wish I can allow people to talk. But then, because of our time, I will not allow you guys to talk because of our time. So, but then, okay, somebody is saying something else again. Semi-structured. Okay. Now, straight to the point. This guy is very, very straight to the point. We have test over here. We have test over here. We have test over here. And then we have table over here. I told you that this table is a structured data, but then these tests are unstructured data. So the combination of test and table in the same context is what we call our semi-structured data. Semi-structured data. So this is basically an example of semi-structured data. This is basically an example of semi-structured data. So now, I want to look at some of these tables. I want to look at them. So, and I want to bring this guy to my Excel sheet. So how can I bring this guy to my Excel sheet? I want to perform a miracle. So this is a miracle. Just come here, copy this link, and then come over here, and then do what? Get data from online services. other sources from web, and then this guy will help us to load on this guy. Let's see. Yeah, look very fast because I still want to touch on something for you guys. So we put this link here and I'll click on OK. I will not do so much on all these guys, but then I'm just showing you the possibilities we have on Excel. So this guy will go online and go and extract what we have on that web page for us and bring it over here for us to use. Can you see it is connecting? So this connection actually depends on the speed of your laptop. Now, this guy is introducing us to something you might have never seen before on your Excel. This guy is introducing us to something that you might have never seen before on your Excel. This is what we call navigator. And navigator is what will take you to what we call our power query. So we have power query on Excel. We have power query on Power BI. So your power query is another platform inside a platform that allows you to do your data transformation quite easily. In fact, by the time we get on our Power BI, you won't be having tables like this, like we have right now on Excel. Yes, some people might not have this guy on their Excel. Let me put that close. If you are using Microsoft 2013, I don't expect you to have this on your Excel. If you are using Microsoft Excel 2007, you know, all those old ones, I don't expect you to have this guy on your Excel. So, but then for the olden for the new Excels, Microsoft 365, I am so certain that you guys will have this. So don't forget this is where we're coming from. This guy, can you see a lot of it? So now I can look at the web page over here. If I click on web, can you see this? If I click on this web, I can look at my web page over here. I can see all the things I can see on the back end over here. But then don't forget, I've mentioned earlier that on your Excel only deals with structured data. Excel only deals with data that are in table formats. You can't use Excel to analyze your unstructured data. Those ones are qualitative analysis, not quantitative analysis. We have a different software for that. I've mentioned that in class before. Now, for this, we will be using just the tables on these guys, all these tables. You know, by the time you check here, this is table one. You see it. This is a table. This is another table by nation. You see it. This is another table by club. In fact, now all-time points table. Now I can make jest of all these Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan, that my precious Man U still has more points in UEFA than any one of them. But anyway, we know that we still have, even though we are still not in form for a while, we know that we still have more UEFA points, even though we are not playing the game right now. Let's console ourselves that we still have more points than people that are even playing it right now. So, so let's leave that. So now we can see a table that captures all the points aggregate so far, accumulation of all the points. We can see Real Madrid, they are the Baba, 689 points so far. So this is a table on its own again. Imagine Chelsea number 14, see, and they will screaming 261 points. They will screaming. Don't worry, I will not talk. I will not talk. so that all those Chelsea fan on this call will not come from my head later. So let me just keep quiet. We have different tables on this guy that we can actually make use of. So now let's go and look at how they look like on our Excel. So now let's come back to our table view. So click table one. So can you see we have a table here? This is table one. This is by nation. I've already seen this already. This is by nation. You see that this aligns perfectly with the Spring 2011. Spring 2011. Can you see? It has picked the table by default itself. It has picked the table by default. If I pick this table, this first one table, you will see it also. Can you see Real Madrid, Milan? That should be the first table we're having over here. This should be this. Can you see Real Madrid? They've won the title 15 times. They've been a runner-up 3 times. Can you see? Can you see that? So now you can see that here. Real Madrid 15 times. Milan, Bayern Munich, Liverpool. Okay. Okay, Liverpool, you have won this time around. You have won this time around. So, but then Man U is still here ahead of Chelsea still. Okay, anyway, that is a consolation. Liverpool, you've won this time around. So, so we can see all the tables as they are. So if we want to analyze this data or want to analyze anything on this data, we can easily pick any of these tables and import it and analyze it conveniently. So let's say I want to analyze this, I can pick this and I can click on my load. But then if you are clicking on load, you are not doing well. So let me bring out my notepad. There is something, if you see by now, start looking at job adverts for data analysis, for data analysis rather. Start looking at what are their requirements, what are things they are asking for, and start blending your class knowledge with those things. Most times you will see in a data analyst job description, you will see good understanding of ETL process. Go and search for data analysis job. I'm sure that if you see 10, at least you see 6 that will be asking for good understanding of ETL process. You know, at a point, you will think that ETL is a big deal. You would think ETL is hey, they're asking for ETL. What is ETL? Is it another club playing for another player? Which league are they playing? Or you know, your ETL is just an acronym for the process we engage in when it comes to data analytics. So you don't need to think so far. Just calm yourself. You know, just calm yourself. So ETL is simply an acronym for what we call our E, T, and L. So your E stands for your extract. What does it mean to extract? Is the process of getting data sets from a source. ETL is common. Fantastic. Judith is confirming that. So ETL, it simply means extracting your data sets from a source. And we have done 2 already in today's class. We've already extracted from our Excel file. We've extracted from our from online. That's what we are doing right now. So that's your online, is your source. And the process of clicking on your get data web, it is what you call your extract. So once you are done extracting, we are now come to the second process, which is your transform. So your other transform, this is where you perform, where you do your data cleaning, standardization, normalization. Let me put if needed, normalization, and perform all calculations needed to achieve your analysis goal, to bracket your APIs. Don't worry, I'm not using any textbook. I'm just giving you all this definition from my head. That's because I always try to tailor definition in a way that people in class will actually understand it. So I'm using my own words to actually coin it. But then what this means is that once you are done extracting, the next thing is that you want to do some things on your data. You want to clean your data, you want to standardize it. I will tell you what standardization means later. You want to do your normalization. If time permits, again, I'm using if time permits, by the time we get on our Power BI, I will show you what it means to normalize data. If time permits, I'm not promising you, but then if time permits, I will show you what it means to normalize data. It is a long process actually. And perform calculation that you need to achieve your analysis goal. So once you are done with that, you can now load your data. So your loading of data is simple. It just is bringing is I don't want to use the word is loading, but then let me just use is bringing your transform or ready for analysis data into your visual Canva. Canva. I don't know why I'm having a lot of notification this afternoon. No. Into your visual Canva. So now, so far so good. What we have done on this guy is what we call our extract. So far so good. Now let's take it a little step further. Under here, you see two options: load and transform. Then you want to cancel it, you can cancel it. Load, transform, and cancel. So, however, because of your ETL process and you want to follow the process, you have to click on your transform. And once you click on your transform, this guy will take us to what we call our Power Query Editor, another word entirely. This guy is another word entirely. If you have seen this guy before on your Excel, let me use a thumb up. If you have seen this guy before on your Excel, use a thumb up. Let me see people. You are thumbing down. Okay, goodness, I've seen this before, but then others are thumbing down. Okay. Okay. So I have just one person, but I've seen it before. He's telling. I have just one. Okay, I think I have two now. Okay, Favor has also seen this before. Okay. Akman has also seen this before. Fantastic. Yeah. So people that have seen this before, they are not newbies. So now we can now split the width from the, I can say remember it in Yoruba. We can now split the width from the shaft. Yeah, that's the word. We can now split the width from the shaft, because now people that are now gurus, we are now seeing their face small. So this guy is what we call our Power Query Editor. I will not do so much on this guy for now. I'm going to there will be a class for this guy under our Power BI where we show us what all this interface looks like. But then this is where you do all your data transformation, you do your paparazzi, all your calculation. You want to add a new column, you want to remove the column, you want to do this, you want to do that. You can easily do that all over here. So once you are done with all the paparazzi you want to do over here, then you can come here and close and load. So once you close and load, this guy will bring your data set to this, your Canva, and then can you see where we started from? We started from getting these data sets online, like online, on our Wikipedia, using our Google. And now this data set is coming live to our Excel. I think my network is also strong because this is taking more time than okay. So okay, I have it now. So can you see now? I will now have this guy to be intact. So now the advantage of using this guy is that if tomorrow or by next season, Man U miraculously win the Champions League, we know we are not qualified, but then if by miracle they just want to give us the Champions League, just guy, take it. So by the time they upload it on Wikipedia, and announce it to the world that Man U is now the new Champions League winner, you can easily come over here and refresh. And by default, you don't need to be passing through the process of importing all over again. Once you refresh this guy, it will update Man U to be 4. By faith, I can by faith, you can see Man U to be 4 already. So, but then that's just to tell you that that is how the process actually looks like. So apart from that, another way is that let's do a kind of little let's do a little stuff. I'm coming. Let me see. Let's say name, comma, class, comma. Let's say age, comma. What else? I want to Google just prorata some things for you guys. Let me just do prorata on some things. So okay. So next one, the name, the class, the age, the this, the that, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now I can keep repeating all these just to give you a kind of class pattern. If you notice, this is not making any sense. Or is it making any sense to you? It's not making any sense. I'm not even talking about the test itself, because you can have the actual test over here. Also, let me save this. Save as. Let's go and save it in the class folder. Strategic mind. And then let's say test class safety file. So save this. So now I want to show you this in 2 ways. I'll copy this, Control C. If you see, can you see that this is what we call our comma separated value? Why? Because comma is separating each one of the columns. Comma is separating each one of them. That is why it is called comma separated values. That's the reason. So we have something we call our delimiter. So at this point, comma is our delimiter. What does delimiter mean? Delimiter is any symbol, sign, or anything that we are using to split 2 columns or to differentiate 2 columns. That's what our delimiter means. So now let's go here. I've copied that. Let me paste that over here. Can you see that I pasted this over here? Can you see that it is still there like this? Everything is still inside a column. So let's leave this like this. I will show you how to address it later. So now let's do another one. Let's come back here. Let's do our get data ID from file, test or CSV file. Now let's go and look for that our guide. Strategic mind. And can you see class test file and then import, and then you will see something entirely now from what you have been seeing before. And so can you see this? So let me change this to this. Can you see this is how we have it originally? Can you see that? Comma, comma, comma. But then your delimiter is comma. So I'm changing this guy to comma, and then by default, this guy, can you see that this guy is now making more sense? It is splitting it to different columns. Now I can click on my transform data again for our ETL process, and then I can quickly do something over here. Let me see. I can quickly do something over here. So I want to use role as first header, and I have this already over here, and I can close and load this. And this guy will come over here as a fine looking guy. Can you see that? We now have them as a table, and each one of them in different columns. Can you see that? So assuming I'm having normal data set on it also, that is how it will split it on different columns also for me. That's the style. So now let's come back to this one. So assuming you still want to do it by this, there's a way to go around it. There's something we call test to column function. There's something we call our test. So I'll write it here. Test to column function. Text, not test. Text. Test to column function. So your test to column function will help you to split all these guys over over the columns. If you don't want to go through this route that we did, this guy will help you to split this guy across. So how can we do that? Highlight this, come under your data, and you will see this guy test to column. You see this guy test to column. Split a single column of text into multiple columns. Can you see that? So click on this guy, and then yes, we are using delimited because we have a delimiter, which is what? Which is comma. Click on your next, and then over here, you come and click on your comma over here, and then you can click on your finish if you want. And can you see it has split this guy to different columns? Can you see that? It has split this guy into different columns. I am showing you this guy deliberately because I know that your assignment for this week, there is a test file over there. There is a test file over there that you guys will need to split into columns or do something on it. That's the reason why I am showing you all these guys now. So, but then the gist is, it is quite simple. That's the gist. The gist is, it is quite simple. So now I've been able to do that. So and then that's that. So if you want to explore other ways of bringing your data in, you can see. But then we've already explored this, and then you're online. Those are the three primary ways of getting your data set on board on your Excel. Those are the three primary ways. So with those three, you are fine and you are good to go. And then quickly, let me show you some things quickly, but before we call it a day. Let me show you some things quickly before we call it a day. So because I don't want to come back over here again, next week will be our week 4, and I'll just be showing you a VLOOKUP, and then I will be doing a project from the beginning to the end in class, so that I can show you. I've already shown you how to bring your data set on board. Now, I want to show you what it means to clean data. I want to show you guys what it means to clean data on your Excel before you start your analysis. So now, I have this guy. I don't know what is wrong with it anyway. I'm just opening it also. In fact, the gist is that I just downloaded this data set because of you guys, because of this class. Actually, I've never worked on this guy before, and at times I do that experiment. Also, most times actually, I come to class with a new data set, and the reason for that is because I don't want to come to a class with a data set that I've worked on, so that once I come to class, I'll now just use my previous knowledge to just walk through it for you guys. And you guys will think it is a magic. It's not a magic. So I love to come to every new class with a new data set. Why? Because I know that you guys will have challenges. And then even myself, at times, I still have challenges at time when analyzing some data, that you have to close your laptop and go and steer one beautiful sleep for like 3 hours or 5 hours. Tear sleep. Then after you don't tear sleep, finish, bath, chop better food. Then you go now come back. You know, there's no need to package anything. There's no need to lie about anything. That's actually how the practical world is actually. So don't let anybody try to come and bamboozle you that you just, I always tell people, if you attend any class or any online training or any training, and your teacher is not running into any error, you see, be careful. That's the truth. And that's because the teacher has practiced it before coming to class, and from the practice, just giving you back verbatimely. But then in the real world, it is not like that. In the real world, it is not like that. See, in fact, the Bible says in the word, thou shalt see tribulation, but then be of good cheer. That tribulation is inevitable. It will come. So please, but then just keep your calm, because you will overcome it. That's just the consolation I will give to you guys. You will overcome it. And then how to overcome it is that once you understand the rudiments, you can always retrace your steps. Errors are inevitable. But then once you understand the process and the rudiments, you can always retrace your steps. And that is why, beyond what we are doing in class, beyond your visualization, beyond the data analysis, I want you guys to open your mind to the process part of things. Understand the process, not what I'm doing for you in class. Understand it. So understand the process so that at any point in time, if there's any wrong thing, you'll be able to trace back your process to rectify any error that it is. So now we have a data set like this, and then now I'm kind of struck about they are just sending me these data sets, and I don't really know what is happening over here. The only thing I need to know is that I need to check out for some key things on this guy to ensure that so this is US president this is a sheet that has all the US presidents, yeah, the presidents, what their proud is, the party, who their vice is, what is their salary, the date that was updated, the date this is created. So I know from my data type this is so by default these are my headers. By default these are my headers. So under SQL we call them, they are my field, they are your fields. So let me color these guys so that we can demarcate this to be our header. Let me use this. Now let me introduce you guys to something called filtering and sorting. Let me introduce you guys to something called filtering and sorting. I may not finish this with you guys, but then I will make sure you guys understand what you should be looking for when you are when you are doing your data cleaning. So what's your filtering? What's your sorting? They are functions that are available on your Excel, and this is it over here. Where is itself? What's your filtering and sorting? Let me see. I'm looking for it. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is your filter, and this is your sorting. So for your filtering, we use this to select rows that we want to see. When it comes to sorting, we use it to arrange from how best can I put this? Alphabetically. Let me use the word alphabetically. Everybody can relate with alphabetically. So this can now be whether descending order or ascending order. You know, if you are giving values like 1, 2, 4, 6, 3, 9, 8, 8, 5, and you are asked to arrange this guy in descending order, you know that descending means from the highest to the lowest. So your highest here is 8. So to come from your 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Definitely, I think 7 is the only guy missing here. So, but then if it's ascending order, you know that to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is as simple as this. This is what your sorting means. You are sorting whether ascending order or descending order. But then when it comes to your filtering, you want to be able to see what you have for this guy. So let's come back here, and I want to apply filter on this guy so that I can see what is happening over here. So I can come back here and click on my filter. So when I click on my filter, if you notice, there is a drop down. There's a drop down that is coming over here that was not there before, this guy. And I can click on this drop down to see what I have over here. I can see over here that I have 1 to 45. That's not bad. So let me confirm with what we have over here. 44, 45, that is correct. So over here, so when you are cleaning your data, you are picking it row by column by column, column by column. You are checking all the columns one by one. And what are you checking for? You are checking for quite some things. And one of the things you are checking for is that is your data following the same format. You want to ensure your data set is following the same format. You want to ensure your data set is following the same format. You want to ensure that your data set has the same data type. You want to ensure that there's no spelling error. So let me say this. All errors on data sets are majorly human error. All error. In fact, we have some people that we call data entry. That's what they do basically is data entry. And they are the one that will compute all the data sets one by one and type them one by one. So when they are typing, instead of writing 10 and 0, they can write 10 and O, 10 and O. You want to write 10. The error can be as minute as this. So you have to come and change that it is 10 O, not 1 and 0. So those little errors. For example, now over here, I can see this George Washington. We have capital letter G, capital letter W. Over here, we have small letter J. We have small letter A. Over here, we have capital. Over here, we have everything capital. Can you see? So these are quite different from one another. You want to ensure that you are following the same pattern all through for this. So what can we do? Let's insert a new column over here and we say president. Let's say cleaned. President cleaned. Let's put cleaned in front of it. And then don't forget this. Anytime you are working on a new data set, always keep a copy of your original. I will say that again. For example, now I'm already working on this. I have two ways I can do that. I can click on save as so that I won't lose my original. If you are working on a data set and you've lost your original, if there's any error and you need to go back to the original to maybe start all over again, once you don't have a record of your original, then it should be a yam pepper scatter. So you want to have a copy of your original. If you don't want to go through that route, I can duplicate this. Create a copy. That's what I do most times, actually. So I will put this guy over here. This will be my original, and I can delete this guy. So, and I can have this guy to be my original. I can clean all everything I have on this. No fill. But I can even remove the filters. So this is how my original data set looks like. I can leave it like that. And I can, so that if I have any error, I can always run back to it. Now, we want to ensure all these guys are following the same case. We want to ensure whether everything is uppercase, or everything is lowercase, or everything is proper case. So how can we do that? If you want to use lowercase, you can do lower. Your tests are your data cleaning tools. Can you see that? And then I can drag down to the last one, and you will see that everything is now lowercase. If I want it to be uppercase, I can equals to upper, and then put this, and then enter. You can see uppercase all through, and then the same thing all through. So, but then normally your name should be in proper case. So you can do your proper, and then and click on the test and then enter. So now let's see. Can you see John Adam? Can you see it has changed? James, can you see it has changed proper case? And now we can leave this guy as it is. It is fine like that. So for name, you might not really have so much to do on name. Why? Because you don't really know their name, except maybe there are people that you really know their name and you know what you're looking for. But then if not, imagine running a supermarket and you have name of so many people and you're trying to maybe look for the correct spelling of their name. Some people will tell you that their own Victor is K, not C. So everybody spells their name differently, and that's not your own headache to address. Your own headache is to ensure that they are all following the same format so that it can work with what you have in mind. So I want to quickly round off, and then just to go a little bit further, I want to see this. You can see that we have some of these errors over here. All these are not needed, actually. All these guys are not needed. All these guys are not needed. All these guys are not needed. All these guys, they are not needed, actually. They are all errors. So, but then we still leave that for now. I'll skip that for now. Come under your party. We have Democratic. You have Democratic Republican. You have Democratic. Can you see that this and this, they are the same thing? So I don't know because maybe because I'm not in US, I don't know whether Democratic and Democratic Republican, whether they are the same thing. So since I don't know that, I don't need to bother myself about that. I can just come here and look at the difference. So I want to see. Can you see? I just use filter now to filter others away and just return. So let me see this. So I can see by default that this is a mistake. This is a mistake. So I can easily correct this. And then I can come back here and then I have everything back intact. Now I won't have two Democratic again. Can you see? So we have Federalists, we have non-partisan, we have Republican. What's the difference between Republican and Republicans? Let's look at it. Can you see? It's just this last one that has Republicans. This is an error. You want to delete it also. So that's how we clean our data. You want to come back here. Let's return everything. Let's look at everything again. I've seen one guy again, this guy and this guy. I don't know. Let's look at it. Can you see? Obviously, this is an error. Can you see that? I can copy this and paste this guy over here. And then that corrects that. So for your data cleaning, basically, can you see that this is now making more sense than what we had before? You are trying to see anomalies and then you're trying to put them into order. Over here, this guy is looking kind of rough. I'm trying to be very fast now. This guy's looking kind of very rough. So we have unnecessary space over here. At this end, you have unnecessary space over here. You have unnecessary space over here. Can you see? You have unnecessary space over here. This is not making any sense. So you want to be able to have everything to be concise. There's a function we call trim. So your trim will help you to cut away all those stupid things. So now let's do this down. Can you see? It has removed all these SSCs. It has removed all these SSCs. And you see that it has removed all these SSCs. And everything is now back intact. So these are your basic data cleaning. So let's use price over here. Price. Comment. So now to salary. You know that salary must. Okay, I think our salary is well formatted. Yeah, I think, but then there's whoa, somebody was collecting 5,000 and somebody is right here collecting 405,000. Hey, anyway, hope this is not Nigeria Pro Max. Anyway, I don't know, but then let's leave that to them, or maybe it is pro rata. So we can leave this since we have everything to be intact over here, and then let's just look at our dates and then we can wrap up on that. So for my date, I think I'm seeing some errors already on my dates. Can you see? I have this one to the 14th July, different from this guy, I can see here, from this guy. I want to ensure that I have the same date formats. I want to ensure that. So how can I do that? I can do this. I can highlight all my dates together. Just come and change them to short dates. So can you see? I've been able to change them. Can you see? I don't need to stress myself. It's just for me to just know what I'm looking for, and once I see what I'm looking for, I'll just address it once and for all. So with this, we've been able to clean our data to a large extent. We've been able to see some errors on our data set, and we'll be able to clean to an extent. So this is a basic data cleaning tutorial that will allow you to actually get started with your data cleaning and every other thing on your data set. So with this, I think we can end our class for today here. And then please, if you have any question, please, you can please ask your questions right now. Any question? Any question from my class? Let me see if you have any question. Let me see. Question. Okay, so please, if you have a question, please use the Q&A section. Please, when I will get the video recording for yesterday class, okay, that will be ready tomorrow. After said that, please, the memory table is still not active for my Excel or for the absolute reference sensor. I don't understand this question. The memory table is still not active on my Excel. I don't understand this. For the absolute reference, I don't understand this actually. Please, with the video for this week be posted, definitely it will be posted tomorrow. Do we have a course outline for this data analysis? Yes, we have a course outline. You can go and check your LMS. The first slide I was given to you, we have the course outline over there. And that is what I'm using to teach you guys. And even yesterday, I mentioned the fact that what I taught you guys yesterday is what we ought to teach today. and I had to switch yesterday to today and today to yesterday so that we can prepare for next week Friday of our class. So today's class is too fast, sir. Okay, that is quite noted. That's quite noted. Maybe because we have quite a lot of things. But then even though it is fast, I believe I still move at the kind of smaller pace. But then please, you can go and read your you can go and rewatch it so that you can fast get catch up some things. I see my Excel data on my Outlook laptop, so it's still showing but not opening. How do I recover it? On your Outlook Microsoft 365, it is still showing but not opening. Still showing but not opening. How do you recover it? What I know, your recovering is just your recovering. Like I can come over here. This is my Microsoft 365. It is not maybe not. I can come to recover on save workbook if I have not saved it. If I'm lucky, I will see it over there. And then if not, I believe that if you come under your Excel, all your previous file that you worked on should be highlighted over here. Can you see? All these are the stuff I opened recently. So and you can see that's right on my screen right now. This is 24th of August, this is 20th of August, and today is 31st of August. So you can see all those guys over here. This is 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago. You can see some of those files. So I believe your Excel should be able to recover it back by itself. Not any day. So is there a way to arrange the set of data with unnecessary spacing? I'm trying to see what this means. Is there a way to arrange the set of data with unnecessary spaces? I think I mentioned that in class already. When I use my trim function, I don't know if that is what you mean. You know, we are over here we had unnecessary spaces. Over here, all these space are not needed. Nobody say they want chopper. All these space they are not needed. Nobody say they want chopper. They are not needed. So and we used our trim function, and we have been able to remove all these unnecessary spaces over there. I think that answers the question. But how do I get to my LMS? I don't think this person has been in this class. How do I look up for this course outline? Just go on your LMS. This is your LMS. This is your LMS. I've walked you guys through this LMS before. I should not even be answering all this question actually, because I've walked you guys through this LMS before. So your course outline is here. It's under your day one slide. It's part of the day one slide. Your course outline is here. So you can go and check over there. So any other question, I still can't access the feedback form. I'm worried I'm the only one experiencing this. Please, Enela, please, you can message me on WhatsApp. Message me on WhatsApp. Message the account that has always been sending message. On the WhatsApp has always been sending message. That's not my personal line, but then you get a response. So I will get them to send you the direct link of the feedback form so that maybe you can fill it directly. Exactly, the chart is showing like that. Last opened is 25th. Inogri. Then that one I wore. That one I wore. But then it should actually open. The quality of recorded video on YouTube is really poor. It is not really easy to see. I can bet you that the recording of the videos are actually not poor. Yeah, I think I can say that boldly because we are streaming live with Google Meet. We are streaming live. By streaming live, we are recording directly. We are not using third-party software. We are recording directly from Google Meet. And that's one of the reasons why we are sure of having very quality video. This guy is chopping a lot of data, actually. So I think the issue you might be having is that go under your setting anytime you are watching your video and go and increase the quality of your video output. You know, you might be on 360 quality, video quality. Increase it to 720 if you don't want to use 1040. Because the higher you increase it, the more data in good chop from your data. So please, it is not poor. You are the one that is missing out on some things. Please, what is your name on WhatsApp so I can communicate with you? I told you there is a WhatsApp line, a business line that has always been messaging on the WhatsApp group. Just drop a message on that WhatsApp. That is fine. So that you get a response. the WhatsApp line that has been directing you about the class activities. Message that line, you get the link. So thank you so much, guys, for today. I think I've been able to answer all your questions. It has been a great time with you guys, and please don't forget you have 2 assignments for this week. So you don't have 2 assignments for this week. Your first assignment is the assignment around the mathematical function that we did in classes today. I'm going to ensure I upload that today after all my meetings, maybe around 11 or 12. I'll make sure I upload that today. And then you have a YouTube video to also watch. I think the YouTube video is about 3 hours, 20 something minutes or 30 minutes, thereabout. So you have to watch the YouTube video, and it is called guided assignments. The man in that video is doing some calculations, some playing around on Excel. You are to replicate exactly what he did. You are to replicate exactly his Excel workbook. It will help you in decision making personally. That assignment. It will help you in decision making. It will help you to see how to weigh your options, things to consider. Now I always tell people that there's a reason why the rich are getting more rich and the poor are getting more poor. A poor man will go and buy 1 cup of rice in the market. 1 cup of rice is 300 naira. Let's assume, I'm just assuming. But then someone that is richer will go and buy a Congo for 2.5. That is you saving 500. By the time you're buying 1 cup, by the time you buy up to 10 cups, that's already 3,000 naira. And somebody buying the 10 cups at once is saving 500 naira. Whereas somebody buying a whole bag, that you will see, you are still saving money. So you are putting into some checks, some things, some factors to consider before you make your decision. That's one of the things that the video will actually train you on. And then also, it will train you on how to use VLOOKUP and some other things before we have the section on VLOOKUP. So next week Saturday, I will see if we can. I will check my schedule. If we can start the class by 3:30. 3:30 is not compulsory for everybody. It's not compulsory for everybody. But then people around by 3:30, what we'll be doing by that time, 3:30 to 4, is that somebody that is very good, any assignment that I see and that is very good, or anybody that wants to volunteer to lead us, show us his or her assignment, we present between 3:30 and 4:00, around 4:15, to walk us through your assignments, the challenges you had with your assignments, how you are able to solve all those challenges, and then you show us your final product. And then or maybe we can even split it different. If you have so many guys, we can split the group so that people can have a kind of cluster and the likes, and you guys we look at it yourself, and then you discuss, ask questions among yourself. Students like you, we answer the questions and the likes. So it is called student-led class, so that you guys can know that these things are not magic. They are not Yoruba will say that is, they are brought from heaven, that your teacher is now giving it to you. They are things that are learned, and then you can be very deliberate about. So that's one of the reasons why I want to have that section with you guys next week by 3:30. Once I see somebody that will take the class, we'll start by 3:30, walk you through the assignments, and then see the challenge. You can ask that student questions, and then if the student cannot answer the question, I can step in, or maybe any other student in class can actually answer the question to help. And then maybe if it comes to the extreme, I can now step in to also help. So it will help to foster relationship, number one. It will help you to relate how to work with a team. And then definitely, it will help your learning also. By the time a student like you is teaching you also, they'll bring it down to your level, like to your extreme level, as against maybe someone like myself. So thank you so much. And I'll be looking forward to see your assignments. Please, if you've never submitted any assignment so far, if you are still on that LMS page, I am sure that don't be surprised if you are removed during the course of this week. Please don't be surprised at all if you are removed by the course of this week, because this is a business, and you can't be with us for 3 weeks now. We are done with 3 now without having any results, without having anything to show for it. It means that you are not with us. So if you are with us, please participate in what we are doing. And then please, in case you don't know, your attendance, let me show you. Your attendance is being tracked. See, there's a function over here that actually allows to track your attendance. Can you see attendance tracking? So some people will join class 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they will leave. If I open the attendance sheet, the number of hours you use on the call, this guy is tracking it. So don't think that maybe we are not looking at all those things. We are checking to the letters. So please, I'm saying that to encourage us to actually come to class, not to scare us or to do anything. But I'm telling us, my eyes is on you. My eyes is on you guys, not to scare you, but then please, far beyond your attendance, please do your assignment. Far beyond your attendance, please do your assignments. So thank you so much, guys, for today. Please do well to have a wonderful week ahead, please, and then please do well to enjoy the rest of your have a productive week. Goodbye, everyone.